All right, everybody. We are going live to talk about autism. If you're an autism parent, if you have autism, if you're just interested in learning about autism, you are in the right place. We are going to go ahead and get started talking about autism. So go ahead and put those questions in the chat. Let's get talking. And if you're coming in, be tapping on that screen. Let's see how quickly we can get to 20,000 likes today. How's everyone doing today? How's everyone doing? Hello, everybody. Intigu, hello. Nikki, hello. Hello, Light. Hello, Chappies. Hello, Light Sweet. Hello. Good to see you guys. Hey, where are you all from? Put the state or the country that you guys are in. I'm curious. Where are you guys from? I'm out here in Utah is where I'm at. Yeah, I'm an autism dad, if you guys haven't seen me before. My boys in California. Nikki, you're in the Philippines. I love that. Light Sweets in Germany. Oh, my goodness. Germany's amazing. Hey, my last name is German, Heiner. Do you know any Heiners? Not a lot of Heiners here in Utah, but I think it's a little more common in Germany, maybe. Chappies is in Texas. All right, you guys, as you're coming in, let me know where you're from. Be tapping on that screen. We're going to do something different today. Not too different, but as soon as we get to 20,000 likes, I'm going to go through the daily autism news. And so get to 20,000 likes as soon as we can, and then we are able to run through the autism news of the day, you guys. Oh, Beth is in Kentucky. Melissa, hello. Good to see you. You're also in Kentucky. Hey, Beth and Melissa are both in Kentucky. Maybe you're neighbors. Who knows? Taiba, why do they spit? So kids with autism, some kids with autism spit. That can be a problem behavior. And there can be a lot of reasons. So hard to say that it's just one thing. Zenny is from the Philippines. As you guys are coming in, let me know where you guys are from. I want to know. I want to see it. What state are you in, or what country are you in? Put it in the chat there. Good morning, Ange. Good morning, Zenny. Good to see you guys. Autism Ambience, hello. Good to see you. We got California. We got Arizona. We got a good mix of people of where everyone's from. I love this. Brianna's in Colorado. Hey, Colorado's my neighbor. I'm out here in Utah. South Africa, so I love that. Let me give you a little bit of a rundown while you guys are putting in where you're from, a rundown of what we do here, who I am, what we're doing. We're just barely getting started. We're just a couple minutes into this live. Oh, Idaho, Roxio, we're neighbors too. I love Idaho. Anne-Marie, Northern Ireland. I love that. I'd love to be out in Northern Ireland. Guys, I'm an autism dad. I got 2 kids with autism. I have 4 kids overall, but 2 of them have autism. And I love them to death. They're amazing. Oh, Zenny's from Philippines. Love that. So I have 2 kids with autism. I'm also a board certified behavior analyst. So I work with people with autism. So for the past 13 years, I've worked with people with autism. Now, on top of that, I also run a company that serves people with autism throughout the state of Utah. We just signed our lease to open our 4th clinic in the state of Utah. We signed the lease yesterday. And so we are officially moving forward with our 4th clinic in Utah. But this live isn't about that. This live is to talk about autism. I'm curious, if you're an autism parent, put parent in the chat. If you think your child has autism, or if you have autism, put parent in the chat. I want to know, are you an autism parent? I think a lot of times the autism parents find their way in here because it's a good place to hang out. It's important for us to have a village, and we get along well together. Oh, amazing. Crystal has 3 with autism, complex needs. You have every reason to be exhausted, Crystal. You absolutely do. Look at all these parents. And man, Max, you're a nanny. Okay, I love that. Wow, Brianna. Okay, thank you for sharing. My question, okay, Shai says, my question is, if you have 1 with it, why keep having more? Why not? What's the problem with having a child with autism, Shai? Is there a problem here? I love my kids, and we should never shame someone. If they have a kid with autism, we should never shame them about having another child. I think that's an important thing that we stand behind, that we, are supportive of each other. And it does bring up something like you should be aware. If you have one child with autism, in part of your decision making of if you want to have more children, you should be aware that there is a 20% chance that your child may have autism. But that's, any person who is born has a 2 to 3% chance of having autism. So why should anyone have any children if they have a chance of having autism, right? Is that what you're saying? Something we got to be cautious of how we talk about it. All right, guys, just so you are aware, we already have 2,300 likes in here. As soon as we get to 20,000 likes, I'm going to go through the daily autism news, you guys. Every day I'm going to have a new article of the day, just something interesting from the past day or two that we can talk about. And I will get to that as soon as we get 20,000 likes. And so go ahead and be tapping that screen. And as soon or as long as that takes, we will jump in on that. But for now, I'll keep on answering the questions. Mama Boy says, I'm proud of my son. He amazes daily. Yeah, I love my kids, and I am just so proud of all the things that they accomplish. Shai says, I'm in a mom group, and some have 3, and all they do is complain. Yeah, whether they have autism or not. I mean, it can be really hard, and we need safe places to be able to complain. That doesn't mean that we wouldn't want our kids. I complain all the time. I talk about how hard it is, and that in no way means that I would not want my child to be here. I love my children with autism. I've been in burnout for about 3 years, and it's not getting better. Why? Kitty, I'm so sorry. Do you have a child with autism, Kitty? Or do you have autism? What's your situation? Oh, you have autism. How old are you? How old are you, Kitty? All right, everybody. Be tapping on that screen. We're already at 4,000 likes. I love that. That's amazing. I'm a mom with a level 3 autistic child. He is 4 years old. Okay, Zenny. Yeah, that's great. So my son is 3.5, and he's at ABA this morning. He's getting his therapy in, and I got to tell you, it's his favorite thing to do. People always tell me, what, he does 15 hours of school and then also 15 hours a week of ABA? Like, that's 30 hours that he's doing stuff. And I'm like, yeah. And he would want to do it 60 hours. Like, he loves it. He loves it. All right, you guys, I'm curious if you are, I'm curious if you put 1 in the chat if your child has an official diagnosis, put 2 in the chat if you just suspect that your child has autism. Where are we at with that? 1 if your child has a diagnosis, 2 if your child you suspect has autism but not yet diagnosed. Curious what we have in here. Both are valid, you guys, and we're all at different stages. A lot of times those wait lists are brutal. My 6-year-old boy is behaving like a 6-year-old. Yeah. Can you tell me more a little bit about leucovorin? Stay tuned. We will definitely get to leucovorin. I'll make sure we talk about that. A little bit of a sneak peek that might have to do with the breaking news of today. Once we get to 20,000 likes on this live, everybody, we're going to get there. So be tapping on that screen. Yes, both are valid if you go out the right way and don't make a joke about it. Did I miss something? About not having a diagnosis yet. Yeah, if you're not joking about your kid having a diagnosis or something or making light of it, I mean, you can't officially say your child has autism. You just suspect your child has autism, and that's understandable if you're at that point. Okay. Yeah, you're good. You're good. All right, everybody. I'm checking to see if I have autism through my doctor next month. I'm a parent, but so curious. Ange, that is great. Did you find someone who's able to diagnose a low support need adult with suspected autism? Mark says, what is autism in children? Okay, Mark, the best way I like to describe autism is by what symptoms we see with autism. And so something we can ask is, we got a lot of autism parents in here. Let's ask what the signs of autism are that they see in their child. So everybody put in the chat. Let's help each other out. For those who are wondering if their child has autism, how do you know your child has autism? What are some of the signs of autism that you first saw? And I'll kind of start this conversation here. Is what I saw is my child didn't respond to his name. He was not. He wasn't looking where we were pointing. He wouldn't point. What was weird, though, is he was making eye contact, and I could get him to laugh. He enjoyed the laughing. I could play with him. I could play peekaboo. He loved it, okay? And so a lot of people say, oh, no, my kid is social. He doesn't have autism. But the factor with my son was the joint attention. So he never brought me toys just because he wanted to show me how cool this toy was, you know? He enjoyed the social aspect of me playing with him, but he didn't share in attention with other objects. Okay, stimming, that's a big one. Nonverbal trouble, socializing, lines up literally everything. That's one of my favorite things about autism is the lining up toys. I love that. That's so cool. Okay, watching the same thing over and over or rewinding the same part of a show. Shy, that is spot on. That is spot on. Frustration when communicating. Yeah. Since I resigned, he's learned how to poop and pee already. He's made such big progress. Zenny, oh my goodness. One of my favorite segments to do here, and maybe we'll do this right now while the likes are coming in. Remember, we want to get to 20,000 likes on this live as quickly as we can so that we can then go through the breaking news of the day about autism. But I do think celebrating little wins goes a long way. What is a celebration that you guys have? Tell me a celebration. What is something that you are so proud of the past couple of days that your child has done, has learned, has done? We already have one who talks about making progress with toilet training. That's amazing. What other celebrations do you have about your child? Mama boys, my son can read. Oh, I love that. I love that. How does early signs show indicate severity down the line? Casey, that's a good question. You can't predict severity down the line. How severe it is when they're a baby or a toddler does not necessarily, the levels don't necessarily mean that's where their level will be. Lexi, that makes me so happy. Lexi's child kissed her on the cheek. For those who have a child with autism, we know how hard that affection can be sometimes to get. And we are already at 10,000 likes, you guys. We are halfway there to getting to the breaking news of the day. Very exciting. Erica says, my son is starting to write letters. Oh my gosh. Congratulations. Chappie's able to make alphabet sounds. So good. I'm autistic and I'm working on becoming more independent, moving out soon. Hourglass, congratulations. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, working towards independence. How do you know if your child is masking, and what can masking be, for example? Okay. So when in the autism world, when we talk about masking, what masking refers to is kind of concealing the symptoms of autism. This can, most commonly when people talk about masking, it doesn't always look like this, but one of the common things that you see is that they don't stim, that they want to stim, and in private they may stim, but when they're in public, they feel like they can't be themselves. That is common. That's very common with autism. Masking is so exhausting. I had a mental breakdown from having to mask for 20 years. Guys, we don't promote masking, We don't promote masking. We let our kids, I get asked quite often of how do I get my child to stop stimming? And my response to that is you don't. You learn to love it with them, unless it's hurting them. If it's hurting them, let's find a way to meet that need in a more appropriate way. But if it's not hurting anyone, it's okay to be weird. It's okay to be different. It absolutely is. Okay, you guys, we are just getting started today. What questions do we have about autism, you guys? A little bit about my background so you know who it is that's talking to you. I have a master's degree in autism studies. I have 2 children with autism. I don't believe that I have autism, though some on here have tried to point at things indicating I do, which I think it's sinking in a little bit. I don't know, who knows? But I don't believe I have autism. I have 2 kids with autism. And I am a board certified behavior analyst, so I do ABA therapy. I am currently the CEO of a company that provides services to people with autism throughout Utah. And I am passionate about advocating for our children and advocating for amazing autism parents. We have a question coming in on YouTube. We do prioritize those comments as they come in because our YouTube is still small and growing. Bear Shouting says, when I get really excited, my hands get tense up. Is that stimming? It could be. Absolutely. It's stimming is regulating your body through repetitive movement. And so if you are like tensing and moving your arms in that way, stimming can definitely look like that. Now, neurotypical children also stim. Stimming alone does not mean autism. Stimming alone does not mean autism. There's a full diagnostic criteria. I forgot to mention there are two things that I want to mention right now. The first is if you suspect your child has autism, don't just keep having it go in the back of your mind. Take an autism screener. You can find the MChat for free all over online. One good place to do that is in my bio. There's a free MChat link that you can click on that, and that is a screener for toddlers for autism. And I recommend that you, that's a good place to start. That cannot diagnose your child with autism, but it can place your child in the category of low, moderate, or high risk for autism. If your score indicates high risk, I recommend, and the literature recommends, that you pursue an autism evaluation. If there's moderate risk, we recommend you consult with your pediatrician for follow-up. If it's low risk, but you still have some concerns, just think about it and keep your eye on things. So it's a good place to start. It's a good place to start, you guys. Some other things that I want to touch on right now. Well, I'll read some questions, then I'll get to it. We are at 16,000 likes, guys, 4,000 more likes, and we get to the autism breaking news of the day. So keep on tapping that screen. We'll get to the autism breaking news of the day here in just a moment. Okay, Chloe says, any meltdown advice? My 6-year-old is nonverbal, and nighttime is so hard, and it's now every night. Chloe, give us some more info. What's happening at nighttime? What are you exactly seeing? Here's what I want us to do. One of the first keys of helping solve a problem with a child is defining what is the problem. What is the problem behavior? Now, a meltdown is not a description of what exactly is happening. I want more details of like, what is the actual problem that is occurring? Are they crying? Are they hitting? Are they going through prolonged emotional states of sobbing? What does the meltdown actually look like? And once you define it, then you can start looking at the environment of what is impacting that behavior. So the first step is always defining the behavior. Ooh, over on YouTube, we have a really good question. And I'm going to try to get to it before we get to the 20,000 likes, which we are almost there to get to the news of the day, you guys. But let's see here. What do you believe is an outdated view on autism? Let me ask you guys that in the chat. What do you believe is an outdated view on autism? I don't want to bias anyone, so go ahead and put it in the chat. I definitely have some answers here of things I think is an outdated view on autism. But what do you think is an outdated view on autism? I want to hear about it. What is an outdated view on autism? I think one of the biggest outdated views on autism is the idea that we need to make them resemble neurotypical kids. I think an outdated view on autism is that we need to try to force our children to look and act normal. And the shift of, instead of trying to make your child look and act normal, there is a shift that has happened. that people who are best practice neuroaffirming, they're not trying to make their kid look normal. They're trying to help their child access as much reinforcement and joy and happiness as possible. And a lot of times what that means is making the world more accommodating to them. So absolutely, that's an outdated view. Oh my goodness, guys, we did it. We have done it. We are at 21,000 likes. We have gotten to the daily news of the day, you guys. Let's go ahead and jump into the daily news. What is the daily news of the day? Well, this comes from a couple days ago, but it's still relevant, and I think a lot of misinformation is still there. And so today's news of the day comes from an AP News article. AP News is like any news source. There's a little bit of bias. AP News is fairly middle ground, but there's some good information here on AP News. On an article titled "FDA Finds Little Evidence That a Drug Touted by Trump Can Help with Autism." So what is this talking about? Well, we know that the FDA recently approved leucovorin. But what did they approve leucovorin for? For those of you that don't know, a little bit of context is about 6 months ago, back in September, there was a press conference held by Donald Trump and RFK Jr., where they excitedly, and for a good reason, talked about leucovorin as a potential treatment for autism. Now, I want to be careful how I talk about this because there are a lot of really valid parents out here who have felt like leucovorin have helped their child. And what this article is talking about is that the FDA found that the current research was lacking, that there wasn't enough research, and the research was a bit mixed on how effective leucovorin was for helping autism. Now, what did it approve leucovorin for then? Well, let me talk about it. What did it approve this medication for? What did it approve the medication for? Was for a rare genetic condition. It is, let's see. Let me find the name of it. Is it FOLR? What is it called, you guys? Put it in the chat. What is this genetic condition called? I need to find it. I bet it's somewhere in the article here. But it's different than the frat testing. Let me find what it is. Let me find the name of this. 1 second, you guys. I apologize. 1 second here. It is cerebral folate deficiency. It is not the MTHFR gene mutation. That is not what this is. This is it is the FOLR1 related cerebral folate deficiency. So let me break down what is happening here. So there is a very real medical test that can test for the gene of FOLR1 cerebral folate deficiency. It involves doing a spinal tap. It's a pretty involved process, and this is a very rare genetic condition. It impacts about 1 in a million or fewer people in the world. Now, cerebral, the reason why it's not cerebral folate deficiency, the broad category, is because there can be other causes of cerebral folate deficiency. One of those can be the antibody, the FRAT testing. So what this theory says is, so the genetic condition is, let's say that your brain has a door, okay, and allowing the folinic acid into the brain, the door is open for most people. And people with autism, that's true too. This rare genetic condition means that door in the brain is closed and folinic acid is not able to get into the brain. There's theory behind this antibody test that says that with the FRAT testing, that cerebral folate deficiency can still be present if there's antibodies that also are preventing it there. Now, what does the research say about leucovorin treating this? Well, what the FDA is saying here is that there is evidence that leucovorin treats the gene mutation, but there is not yet evidence supporting the treatment of autism or the FRAT testing. This article also brings up some concerns with the FRAT test itself. Most of the FRAT testing, the FRAA testing, is not FDA approved. Most of it is done in a single lab and has yet to be verified and replicated throughout broad tests through various labs. So there's concerns with the FRAT testing itself. Now, I will say I am excited. I am optimistic. So what should you do? A lot of people are excited about leucovorin. I'm still optimistic about it. I haven't opted to go that route with my children. I don't want to ignore all the parents that say it's helped their child. So what should you do? What if you are excited about leucovorin? Well, the first thing is you need to know that there are risks, that it can cause behavioral concerns in your child. The second thing is let's move the research forward. If you go to, let me find this website. You can go to clinicaltrials.gov. This is an official website, and you can find where they're doing real clinical trials. So it's not just that you are going to do an experiment with yourself, but you are going to be involved in contributing to the science and moving the science forward. I currently found 2 studies that are that I encourage people to look at, that are based in Arizona, based in Phoenix, on clinicaltrials.gov, testing leucovorin in autism. And I recommend, if you are interested in doing this and testing this, do it while participating in a study, so that you can move the science forward, so that we can find answers to see if this actually benefits people. So, all right, you guys, we are going to go ahead and continue this discussion. If you guys have more questions, go ahead and put it in the chat, but we're going to be answering some other things. I want to know who here is new. Put new in the chat if this is your first time being on my live. I'm curious, who is just getting to know me here? Who's new here? Put new in the chat. We got some new people. You guys. Hello, Andy. Welcome in. Bear, DX, ESME. Hello. Angie, Ada, Monique, Sis. Good to see you, Merritt, Carolina, Julia. Thank you guys for coming in. I go live every day at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. That's noon Eastern Time for about 2 hours. And we talk about autism. You guys. We are going to go ahead and continue answering questions. Now, once we get to either 1 hour of being on the live or 50,000 likes, we're halfway there to 50,000 likes, we're going to start bringing some guests up to ask questions. But for now, go ahead and be putting them in the chat. Be typing out your questions. Once we get 50,000 likes, I'm going to start bringing some guests up, you guys. So keep on tapping that screen. Andy's from the UK. Hello. When my son is overwhelmed, he bites his arm. What should I do? Powder pedal. I've seen that before. I have absolutely seen that. Is it leaving a mark on his arm? Is it breaking skin? If it just looks odd, I wouldn't be too worried about it. If it's breaking skin, if it's causing damage or bruising, we need to address it. So yeah, let me know. Powder. Andy says you can buy things to bite on. Yeah, here's the problem with that. Like, we have to identify the function of the behavior, you guys. We are so quick to look at what a behavior looks like and then jump to an answer. Okay? And we got to be careful about that, because we shouldn't address a behavior simply by what it looks like. We should address a behavior based on what the function or the purpose of that behavior is. So if your child, what you need to do is conduct a functional assessment, or have your behavior analyst do a functional assessment. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it so you are able to identify what is causing this behavior. Is it purely just sensory? It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like when he's overwhelmed, this is happening. And so what is that behavior communicating? Is that behavior communicating that he wants to escape? Is it communicating that he wants to access something he can't have? Is it when you tell him no and he can't tolerate no? And so if you do a functional assessment, that leads us to what is the skill deficit that we can work on that can replace that behavior. I know this is not the answer you want. We as parents want an answer of like, oh, there's bite necklaces you can buy on Amazon, you can just replace that behavior. But it's not that simple. Behavior is so complex, you guys. Behavior is incredibly complex. And the key to addressing these problem behaviors is, number one, what does the behavior look like? Number two, what is the function of the behavior? And then three, what is a skill I can teach them that replaces that skill deficit? Navigating Rare says, you mentioned asking your behavior analyst, so y'all just have those in your back pocket. So if you have ABA therapy, I'm curious, who here receives ABA therapy for their child? Put yes in the chat or no in the chat if you're getting ABA therapy. Yes or no. Do you get ABA therapy? I think it's an important thing to look at. ABA therapy, yes or no? Yes or no? Guys, be tapping the screen. We're going to be bringing guests up as soon as we hit 50,000 likes, you guys. It can happen pretty quick. We got a lot of people in here. Oh, Sierra, you're a BCBA in training. I love that. I love that. We got a lot of yeses. We got a lot of nos. So if you have ABA therapy, this is what you want to bring up to your behavior analyst is if your child is, biting their arm or something, you're going to want to talk to them because they can do a functional assessment on that behavior. What is ABA therapy? Okay, so ABA therapy is applied behavior analysis. It is a therapy. It is one of the recommended therapies to support people with autism. I want you guys to remember that we don't cure autism. We don't reverse autism. As parents, we help support our child with autism. And there are 4 therapies that are kind of the frontline therapies to support people with autism. ABA therapy, applied behavior analysis therapy, is one of those therapies. The other ones are occupational therapy. Another one is mental health therapy, and another one is speech therapy. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do all of those, but you have to decide what your child needs. ABA therapy focuses, yes, on communication, but not only communication. It also focuses on things like communication, problem behaviors, skill development. The cool thing about ABA therapy is you can get up to 40 hours a week of services. Occupational therapy is amazing at sensory needs. So that question about like, hey, my child is, causing harm or seeking out sensory needs in inappropriate ways. OTs are amazing at finding answers there and helping with that. All right, you guys. Yeah, Joel Miller. Okay, anybody know where I can find out if I have autism? Okay, so if you are trying to find out if you have autism, and if you're an adult, you need to find in your area, autism evaluation. Okay, look up autism evaluations near me, and try to find some. If you're in Utah, message me. I have a good connection that can get you in probably within a month, whether you're an adult or a child. I have some connections, so let me know if you want an evaluation in Utah. All right, you guys, keep on putting those questions in the chat. Let's see here. I'm curious. This is a safe space, you guys, and I want to know where people are at. Let's do this. How overwhelmed are you right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like you can't go another day, and 1 being like you have time every day to do your favorite hobbies. On a scale of 1 to 10, how burned out are you? 10 is like you can't go on another day. A 1 is like you're not burned out at all. You can go and do your hobbies every day. Where are you at right now? 8, 11, Monichu, I'm so sorry. 11, 9, 8, 8, 28, 12. Oh my gosh. 15. Guys, I feel ya. I'm feeling right now. I'm probably a 5. I'm feeling pretty good right now. I'm a little overwhelmed, but I'm doing okay right now. Yeah, Lexi, you're a 5 too. Seems 8 is a regular. Yeah. Yeah. Andy, yeah, I'm American. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, yes. Lexi, thank you for putting that up there. We are getting there. We need to get 50,000 likes. As soon as we do, I'm going to be bringing guests up here to be asking questions, having conversations. If you want to be coming up, be sure you're tapping the screen so that we can get people up here. But we're going to go ahead and be answering questions here. Over on YouTube, again, I'm prioritizing those questions. If I'm missing your questions on TikTok, feel free to ask it over on YouTube. It's a little less hectic, and I'm reading from there as well. Do you believe in determinism? Yeah, I do. Determinism is a scientific mindset that the universe is a lawful place, that things happen for a reason, that there is order to the universe. Yeah, I do. At least I on a professional basis, you have to operate under determinism. I should clarify. Okay, let's see. Today is about a 7, but every day is a different number for sure. Yeah, every day is a different number. Okay, my son only attends school once per week for 2 hours. We have a SEN school that's offered him a place. James, that's great. Are they going to be able to fill more hours than 2 hours? That's not very much time. Yeah. So where is Andy from? Andy's in the UK. It is different in the UK. They don't have as much access to ABA therapy over in the UK. There's also with the insurance model. I know right now there are wait lists for getting diagnosis, to the point that there are some places in the UK that they can't even refer new kids out to. Can children with autism get better as they grow up? That is a good question. What do you guys think? How do you answer that? Can children with autism get better as they grow up? That's a really good question. Navigating Rare in AK says Alaska is a wasteland for resources. Yeah, I guess it depends on what you mean by better. Okay, by better, if you're talking about like not having autism anymore, reversing autism, or healing from autism, no. The answer is no. Autism is how the brain was developed, but we absolutely can help a child progress and learn, especially with early intervention. Your child who is not progressing, your child who is struggling to communicate, with early intervention, I mean, a lot of these kids end up catching up to their grade level pretty quickly. So yeah, you can absolutely expect to support your child to grow and progress and become the best version that they can become. But remember, our goal as autism parents isn't to cure our child. It is to support them to become the best version of themselves. Andy says, I always like to help people with kids with autism. Thanks, Andy. I love that. We need a village. We all need a village, you guys. Michelle says, I say some areas get better, but new challenges come up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, I'm curious. We did this at the very beginning to get things started, but I want to know, where is everyone from? We got 135 people in here. I want every single person to say either the state that they're from in the United States, or what country are you from if you're not in the United States. Go ahead and put that in the chat, you guys. We got Ireland, Kentucky, Las Vegas, Florida, California, UK. Oh my goodness. What about Utah? Anyone here in Utah? Come on here. Come on now. I want to see Utah. There we go, Gigi. Thank you. We got some people in Utah. Las Vegas, Minnesota, New York, Florida. UK, we got a lot of people in the UK. That's wonderful. New York City, ooh, great. Texas, Washington State, Arizona. Okay, we're at 33,000 likes, you guys. I want to be tapping that screen like crazy right now. I want to get to 50,000 because I want to bring some guests up. But before I bring guests up, I do want to talk about something kind of serious. I don't know if everyone wants to talk about this right now. It's kind of a serious and hard discussion to have if you have a loved one who is diagnosed with autism. I want to talk about water. Anyone else here terrified of water for their child? Put water in the chat if you are scared of water for your child. And let me tell you why a lot of people are scared of this. And if you're new here or new to this autism journey or just observing and learning, you might be saying, why? Why are you so scared of water? I mean, water is not scary. Water is the leading cause of unaliving for children with autism. Children with autism are 160 times, up to 160 times, more likely to drown than their neurotypical peers. 160. 160, guys. Part of that is sensory things with water, and like enjoying this obsession with water. The biggest part has to do with being heedless to danger, not recognizing dangers, while also eloping. So you have a child who runs away, and I'm curious, has anyone ever been with their child, got distracted for less than a minute, and then you look and your child is not there anymore? Your child with autism. Who here has a child who has eloped? And it's scary, you guys. I've had that happen. Absolutely, I have. I think almost every parent of a child with autism has had this happen. And like the scary thing is my son, he doesn't reference us as home base. Like he just wanders. If we're in public, there's nothing keeping him tied to us, you know? And so if we're out somewhere and he wanders, I mean, he's going to get away pretty quickly. And so that's my fear. Let me tell you what I'm doing about this. I've told you that I do everything I can to advocate and make the world a better place for people with autism. One of those things that I did is I bought a clinic that has an indoor swimming pool. I don't know any ABA company that has done this. Let me know if you know one, but I've never had an ABA clinic do this, but we bought an indoor swimming pool, a clinic that has an indoor pool. It's all secured in its own separate room, and we have an adaptive swim trainer who we train to become a behavior technician. And while kids are there, if kids and their parents have agreed to the water safety portion of our ABA, we will go and work on water safety skills during the lesson. Now, with that, we have an adaptive swim teacher who is amazing, and I have asked her to put on a presentation for parents. This is a free training. It's linked in my bio if you want to go to it. There's 2 possible days that you can attend. She's going to do it twice to make sure everyone can go. Go and register for that, guys. It's in my bio. It's a free water safety webinar. It's an hour long, and she knows her stuff. I mean, she knows so much about teaching people who have autism to swim and what you can do to support your child with water safety. And it's things that you are not even thinking of, you guys. Like, let me tell you one thing that we started doing that they taught. So this woman who's the adaptive swim teacher, she taught me this, okay? And some of you, if you've been here a while, you may have heard this, but I love this idea, this advice that you can save your child's life. One thing that can help is before you enter any body of water, whether it's a bath, a shower, a swimming pool, you need to sing a song with your autistic child. Always make it be the same song. And there's a routine that you always sing that song before you get in. And your child, if they run away, if they elope, and then they go and they are close to a body of water, if they think about getting in that, there's a good chance that they're going to spend those extra 30 seconds before getting in the water, which could buy you time to go and catch them. That's just one of those small little tips. That's just a little sneak peek of things that she may bring up in this training. So go ahead and check that out. It's totally free. I just want people to be informed. User says she goes swimming twice a week, but it is hardly any progress. Yeah. Holy cow, we're already at 37,000 likes, you guys. As soon as we are at 50,000, and you know what? I'm about ready to bring people up. Let's lower that to 40,000, you guys. We got 3,000 more likes, and then we're going to be bringing people up. Go ahead and be asking your questions. We got comments over on the YouTube section. 40,000 likes, you guys. 2,000 more now until we bring people up to have a conversation. So many feels says, I was a nanny. This is over on YouTube. I was a nanny for a child with autism. He was 6 when we were skiing with a group. He suddenly turned his skis and shot down the mountain at top speed. Not a care in the world. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's some a lot of kids with autism. They're pretty fearless. My son will climb on the tallest thing and get on the very edge and not be scared of falling. I don't know how he does that. It terrifies me. And also says, I think water safety skills is an amazing idea. I love that. Yeah, the climbing. Guys, put climbing in the chat if your child is a climber. Put climb in the chat if your child is a climber. I'm curious. Do your children climb? That's so scary to me. It is terrifying, you guys, climbing. I'm going to give a quick rundown, guys, of how I address the autism journey, you guys. There is so much you are bombarded with, and it might be today, it might be tomorrow. I am releasing another free resource. If you look, everything I do is free. I want things for you that benefits the autism community, and something I'm doing is documenting the field guide that I talk about all the time of this autism journey. There are parts to this journey, you guys. There are parts of the autism journey, and the very first part is you need a village. Okay, you need someone there with you. The second part is you need a diagnosis. Go get your diagnosis. So the first and second part, you build your village, you get your diagnosis. The third part is you build your care team. Don't try to modify the diet. Don't try to do all these fringe science things. All you need to do is build a care team. Find the experts in your life that are going to have the most impact on your child. That's usually ABA therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, or mental health therapy. The fourth part is this is where you try to learn and advocate for your child. It's kind of like what I do is I get on these lives, I have conversations, I try to learn, I try to teach, I try to advocate. I try to learn everything I can about autism. That's part 4. The final part is planning for your child's future. These are things like long-term care and supports. When we look at the autism journey and we simplify it, we're able to simplify things. It really helps us be able to avoid all the extra work that people kind of expect us autism parents to do. So, all right, you guys, we have done it. We have hit 40,000 likes. We are now ready to go ahead and bring some guests up. You guys share this live out. If you have not hit share before, please hit share on a live. It gets the word out to more people. Let's bring some guests up here. If you want to come up, let me go ahead and turn the panel on and make sure people can see it. There we go. Kind of like doing this. That way people can see where to click. Go ahead and be requesting up. If you want to come up and ask any questions, come on up. We're going to go ahead and get things going. Destiny, hello. How are you?
Hey, good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How have you been? How was your pedicure?
It was marvelous.
Yeah?
Had a glass of champagne.
Oh, my
wonderful.
Gosh. What was the
Yeah.
occasion? Was it just for fun? You just went and did some
It,
self-care?
it yeah. It's
Good for
starting to get
you.
warm, and I can't wear my tennis shoes everywhere, so it needed to be done.
I love that. I love it.
All right. So yesterday was a whole nightmare. I
Oh
came to
no.
this conclusion. So in the past, Hudson has said more please or bite please, probably a handful of times, I'd say. Well, lately he's been like, he'll bring me his juice and he'll throw it in my lap or he'll shake it at me or whatever to show me that he wants more.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, okay, let's go refill it. And I'll take him with me and I'll fill it up and I'll try to get him to say more or sign more, like all the things. And the second that I try doing that, he throws himself on the floor and he starts whining. And it's not like a I'm dysregulated cry. And I'm like, it just like clicked. I'm like, no, I think you're just being a turdy little toddler. So yesterday, all day long, I did not engage in that behavior because every time he starts crying, I just hand him his juice. And I'm like, okay, I'm reinforcing this. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
So for like 6 hours, I tried to get this kid to sign more, say more. I did it like if I grabbed his hands to do it, he'd immediately throw himself on the floor. And the cry is like the typical toddler.
Wait,
And then he goes
clarify
and runs
again. This
off.
is this is between the time that he signs more and that you're getting him more. Like that time is too long, or when does he do this?
Yeah, so like I will fill the juice and I will request that he says more or he signs more or tries because I know that he can. I know that he's capable. And then the second that I do that and don't give him the juice, he immediately throws himself on the floor. And that lasts for maybe 10 or 15 seconds and then he runs away. And then he'll come and try to like take the juice out of my hand and see if that works. And it doesn't work. I'm like, I'm not giving into it. But he refused for like 6 hours yesterday. I would let him drink out of my water, but I was like, if I give you the juice now, you're going to think that this is how you do it and it's okay to just throw yourself on the floor and throw a toddler tantrum and that's how you get it.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, it's a nightmare.
Okay, here is yeah, that's hard.
Because
And
I
you're
don't want
doing
to
the right
enforce the
thing.
behavior, but I don't want to dehydrate him either. And I
Yeah.
don't want to listen to him throw himself on the floor and whine all day long.
Yes, yes, and you're right that you don't want to reinforce the complaining and the having a like kind of throwing a fit for not getting it.
Yeah.
Here's my thought is like if you're open to signing, something you can do is like kind of prompt the sign, like not just tell him to do it, but like actually like
Yeah, grab his hands
grab his
and
hands, do more, and then give it to him.
yes, I
And
do. I
like
do that. So the first
okay,
thing I'll do is I'll
yeah,
say, "Can you say more, please?" And I'll sign it, and I'll give him a minute. And then when he's done with that meltdown, I will take his hands and I'll sign it for him. And the second I grab his hands, he immediately throws himself back on the floor.
mm,
I'm like, oh my gosh. And he is so capable. Like I said, he's done it before. He will sing an entire line to a Miss Rachel song.
yeah,
But I think it's just like when he wants something, he wants it immediately. And for so long, it's my fault. For so long, he has done this, and I've just handed it to him because I don't want to hear him crying. But I now know that that's just reinforcing that behavior. So I think we're just gonna struggle
I,
trying to get
at
that
some
behavior out.
point too, like I'm all for more like that's an okay like very first word that just means anything like I want, but like ideally you could take a step back if you wanted to, and uh, you could instead of having him sign more or say more, you just say the word of the thing that you're giving him. And you don't stress the communication. You just say juice when you give him the juice, and do that for a couple days, and then start. Has he said anything similar to juice? He's never echoed that, right? He's
No,
more is all
juice is
he's.
one thing he's never said. He has said more, he has signed more, so that's kind of why that's the route that I've gone. But his entire since he was 6 months old, I've narrated his entire day. If I hand him a snack, I'll name it. If I hand him his juice, I name it. If we're eating breakfast, like I narrate his entire day. I probably drive him crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's go take a bath, and I'll sign bath, and yeah. So I've been doing that since he was probably 6 months old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't. I don't
Does it
want
happen with everything?
it's
What are all the things that he
everything.
signs more for that you have him sign more?
So when he's in the swing, I'm like, are you all done or do you want more? And he's signed more on multiple occasions. And he doesn't sign all done. He says all done. He goes, I'm done. And
Oh,
then
nice.
that's it. So I'm just having a hard time. I guess I'm like, are you being a typical toddler and just whining to get what you want? Or are you really having a hard time communicating?
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure that he's giving effort. And I also want to make sure that I'm not reinforcing bad behavior because I've been doing this for so long.
Yeah. Well, I
Since we don't
definitely
have
have some
ABA right
thoughts
now,
here.
it's like,
I definitely have thoughts here. Like,
throw them at me.
it is okay to not always do things perfectly, but look at what's happening. So what's going to happen with behavior is what he has shown so far is that he can, for hours, he can be upset about something and be that firm about not saying it. And so if you're ever going to give in, the time to give in is immediately at the beginning. Because if you wait and, there's a major tantrum and then finally you can't stand it and you give it to him, what you're going to be doing is reinforce the more intense level of that behavior. And so the key is like, it's okay to give in, but if you're going to give in, do it at the very beginning before the tantrum happens. And sometimes as parents, it's okay that to also teach children that they just get things because we love them and they don't have to earn every little thing that they have. And that's an okay place to go back to for a minute and let them kind of recalibrate. And it might be something like you give him a little bit at first and then make him sign more if he wants more. But like, I don't want parents listening to this feel like you have to do everything perfect. It's okay. Like we're the parents. Sometimes like we're supposed to be the safe place for when kids cry, that we know what they need and we can answer their cry. And I know it reinforces like the cry, but also your child can't say juice and can't say very much. And it's hard because you want him to say more, but it's also okay to just reinforce that, he can communicate how he feels to you. So I guess my takeaway is pick your battles, and you don't have to pick that battle every time. It's okay to just give it to him, and he's going to pick this up. And if you do that, just like you say you do, you say juice and he gets it. And I mean, how old is he again? He's young.
He'll be 3 in July.
He turned.
He's young.
He's 2. He's 2 right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a big boy. He's in like 4T, 5T clothes. Everybody always thinks he's older than he is.
I thought he was like 3, almost 4. I forgot.
Right.
Look, it's okay. You're wanting to hold him to this. You want him to grow fast, but take a step back a little bit. It's okay. Another thing though is like, even if he's crying, if you at least end with success of doing that hand over hand, even if he's crying, he's still engaged in that behavior and he got it, whether he cried or not. And so
Right.
if you're like not wanting to push this and kind of win the battle and wait 6 hours, like just prompt him to sign it. And if he doesn't, then you do hand over hand, and then you give it to him right away. And you say juice. Because hopefully, when he's older, he can't just come to you and say more and you know what he wants. He's going to need to say juice. The end goal isn't for him to say more anyways. The end goal is for him to say juice. That matters way more than
At this point, any functional communication is fine with me.
Yeah.
Like he's so smart. Like he can name his animals and the sounds that they make. And like I said, he'll sing a whole line of a Miss Rachel song, but none of that is functional, and that's kind of what we talked about in speech the other day. We were talking about like goals, and I'm like, I think it's great that he can do these things, but those aren't functional. Those aren't going to help at the house when he needs something or when he's doing something. Like, I really want his goals to be, I guess just functional. Like around the house, like in OT, we're working on functional things because he can build Legos like a pro. He can build blocks and he can do all those things, but he's not able to clothe himself. He's still not eating with a spoon. Like things like that impacts his life and ours is kind of what we're working toward, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep. My boy's very similar spot. He is my son's saying a few more words now, but when he was 2 turning 3, he definitely wasn't. I mean, this has been the last 6 months that he's acquired a lot of his language that has happened. But I want you, and I know I said this yesterday and I saw your message. I want you to talk to Mallory, because here's what we need to do is learning behavior and learning to speak is all about motivation. It's all about, your child wants the juice. And so before teaching more, all we need to do is establish communicative intent. Like, how is he signaling to you that he wants juice? And then reinforcing that signal that he's already doing and making it stronger. And there's ways that we do that. And you know what? I'll message you some things that I can put you in contact with Mallory, but I can also bring her up and she can walk through things. But I will say that, like, if it's causing like a lot of stress and like you are not failing him by not making him say more before he gets something, like that's not the end goal anyways. And like, we don't want it to be an unpleasant thing. Learning to communicate is a beautiful thing. It's a fun thing that it shouldn't cause issues. You also, like, sometimes kids get into this state of like learned helplessness where they just kind of give up on learning. And the way that you learn is by rapid amounts of trials where they win most of the time. And so what doesn't promote learning is like one long trial throughout the day that you're waiting for him to do something. That's only one learning opportunity and it didn't go anywhere. And so It's better to fail once and give him just a little bit of juice, but then keep on working on things and do as many trials and opportunities for learning as possible. And sometimes that means like you give them a freebie. Like, we prompt them to say something and they don't, and we say, well, you tried anyways. Here, I don't want you to like be bored of this. You have the thing that you want, even though you didn't say it. And you're not depriving them, because sometimes in life we just get things, and that's okay.
I think this is another thing that like frustrates me with the resources here. Like, TRICARE denied him the AAC, which is an opportunity for him to have a voice, and we can't seem to get ABA. And like I said, he responds so much better to other people because he's with me all the time. He has probably at this point tuned my voice out. And so it's frustrating that we can't get him an ABA, because I really think that he would respond tremendously to having somebody in the house working with him daily. But it's just,
he will.
It is impossible.
Yeah. What's the, does he echo any words? If you say a sound, does he ever imitate that sound?
He does, like if we're working on animals, like he'll do animal sounds if I make a sound.
Yeah.
If he's playing with his poppet and I go pop, pop, he'll say pop, pop. So every once in a while he will.
Oh, he's going to do so well in ABA, where they try to do as many trials as possible. And
which is why it's so frustrating that we can't get our hands on it. It's like, I don't want him to be, 5 or 6 years old just getting therapy. This is why I started him, when he was a year old, because I wanted to get him help as quickly as he could so that he has all the resources. And even having done that, we're still looking at over a year. I mean, they tell us a year, but right now it's indefinitely because they have no BCBA.
Yeah.
So we truly just don't know how long. And one of the ABA in South Alabama, they have shut down so many clinics. They shut down one here in Prattville, so we have, I think, 1 or 2 left. But I'm just not comfortable dropping him off somewhere for hours at a time, especially because we're looking at 5 to 8 hours a day for him.
Yeah.
So, and the only in-home ABA within a 100-mile radius is the one that I was telling you about, and like I said, they don't have a BCBA, so
yeah,
it's frustrating.
It's a really interesting take in the comments. Someone says, it's not about motivation. If you're not an SLP, you shouldn't be speaking on this. Beautifully spirited. I love SLPs. SLPs are amazing. But do you think they're the only professional qualified to work on communication with a child? The ideal team has a speech therapist, occupational therapist, and behavior analyst working together. And so I don't like
this. You have a master's in autism studies. I feel like you're the most qualified person to talk to.
I just don't understand the idea of like, you can't have an opinion on this kind of attitude. There's a lot of like, I agree that speech therapists are amazing at communication. And when we write goals, we align a lot of what we work on to what speech therapists work on. But those first bits of language, the approach that speech therapists take and behavior analysts take are very different. So And you spoke on it there in the comment there of saying that it's not about motivation. So SLP's approach is about like the topography of the behavior. What does it look like to actually like pronounce the word and give them opportunities to do that? They're incredibly skilled, especially if they have to actually like prompt. There's instruments they can use to insert into the mouth to actually promote like learning and building muscles. They are amazing. Behavior analysts are really great at building functional communication. So even if it's not the right word or the right sound exactly, but learning that you have control over your environment and getting function behind a behavior analysts really excel with that. So when you combine those two with the amount of time ABA has, it's powerful for a child. So I asked about echoing.
I think at this point you need to start putting your credentials in your title.
It's okay. I'll break it down sometimes to people, but someone asked, why did you ask if a child echoes? Okay, so you don't have to start with echoing. There are children who don't echo, and sometimes it can even be easier to teach that way, but not always. But echoing can simplify the learning, okay? Echoing can make it so that if your child wants juice, then, if you say juice, they say juice, but them saying juice has no meaning. You can give them saying juice meaning by when you prompt them to say it. For example, if they echo, what you're going to do is if they want juice, let's say that they hand lead you to juice, okay? What you're going to do, you pour the juice, you hold it up to your face so they look at you close to your face, and then you just say the word juice. You don't say, what do you want? You don't say juice. No, all you say is juice. And then if they have an echo repertoire, and they say juice, you give it to them. And right then and there, maybe juice, they were just echoing you. But over time, over many trials, pretty soon, them saying juice gains power. Them saying juice, they learn pretty quickly that they can control their environment, that when they say that word, they get that thing. And so a lot of times it starts with echoing, but doing this echoing to manned transition of making requests, it's a powerful thing. So that's my recommendation to anybody is instead of focusing on more or other things like that is you hold up the object, especially if you don't have a trained professional helping you along the way. One of the very first places you want to start is you hold up the item that they hand led you to or that they want. You hold it up to your face and you say the word and you give it to them. Even if they don't say it back. You're labeling it, you're giving them an opportunity to echo, and if they start echoing, it can catch on pretty quick. All right, you guys, let's see here. Kyle wants some advice. Let's see here. What is Kyle saying? Oh, request it up, Kyle. Okay, yeah, I'll bring it up. Let me finish with Destiny real quick. Destiny, do you have anything else you wanted to talk about or share, anything like that before I bring up Kyle?
No, I don't think so. I'm sure something will come to mind later.
All right, I'll bring Kyle.
All right, chat with you later.
All right, talk to you later, Destiny.
Hello.
Well, hi there, Kyle. How are you?
I've had better days. How are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Where are you from?
I currently live in Missouri, but I'm from Michigan.
Oh, wonderful. What's going on, man?
I've been struggling with autism my entire life. I got taken from my I'm just giving a little brief history. I got taken from my family when I was 10 years old, and I spent my entire teenage life in a locked boys' home.
Oh my gosh.
And
Really?
I was just all I needed was a family member or just someone to come get me, and no one wanted to take responsibility because of my mental health. And
just to set some ground rules here, Kyle, just to make sure that we don't get kicked off here. If you do, just be cautious about not saying things that could get us ticked off. No, like mental health can lead to some really profound conversations, please be honest, but be mindful to not say any like trigger words to TikTok, if that makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
I will try my hardest.
What's
I'm
your
not sure what all
situation right
the.
now, though? Who are you living with?
I am with my current partner, and we are really, really struggling. I'm not able to hold a job. I have been trying my entire life, and I've been trying to get disability, and I have continually got denied. Um, I have a really, really hard time being in stressful environments. I've gotten fired from every single job I've ever had. And the last couple of years, my partner, who I, had met 3 years ago, told me to, try to get disability and to stay at home.
Yeah.
And it has caused me to have extreme issues with trying to build relationships and trying to build bonds. I don't have any friends. I don't have any family. No one wants to be around me. I'm a really nice person. I'm sorry for getting emotional.
No,
I'm a
this is
really
a
nice
safe place. I'll
person.
cry with you, man. I've cried on this live many times. You're good, man.
Yeah, and like, I just, want to get the help that I need. And, we've gone through so many avenues trying to get me, the proper help and consistent therapy and meds. And now we're in a position of where like we're pretty much being forced out of our home because of neighborly disputes. And I'm now by no means like a mean or hurtful person. I'm very, very kind, but when I get in any sort of conflict, I guess the word is I crash out. I get
Yeah.
extremely aggressive and like I can't control it.
Yeah.
And
And I'm sure after the fact you feel really bad about it.
I do. I feel terrible every
Yeah.
single time, and I've destroyed all my relationships. And my wife, bless her, or my fiance, bless her heart, has stuck it out with me. And she sees through all that. But like, I am, she's suffering because of my behavior.
Yeah.
I'm ruining her life, and I know that I'm intelligent enough to understand that.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me because like I guess I don't have any self control. I can't get the help that I need. We're being forced out of our home basically. We're getting evicted because we keep getting into it with the neighbors. And we don't even bother nobody or talk to nobody. They're just jerks. They're not very nice to us.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that like, I have autism and I've tried to communicate that to them,
Yeah.
and they make really horrible comments about me because I don't leave my house because of my behavior. So I sit at home and my wife works her butt off trying to take care of us and support our family. And we don't bother no one. We don't say nothing to no one.
Yeah.
And the few times that we have, it's turned into these big old arguments and fights.
Yeah.
There's been multiple times where like just bouncing around from place to place because I couldn't hold a job.
Yeah.
And it really frustrates me that I see a lot of people, getting the help that they need and getting support around them and stuff. I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
I'm on my own. I have my caseworker that, comes and picks me up and takes me to my appointments, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't have, there's no autism help here. There's no resources. There's no centers. There's nothing for that kind of thing here.
Yeah.
And so like now I don't even know what to do.
Yeah.
Like we're in a financial crutch and we're struggling to move out and get going where we need to go and get out of here. And while we're here, we have to worry about the neighbors 24/7.
Yeah.
I can't even walk out. I mean, I can walk out on my porch, but like I don't even want to because we have a Ring camera.
Yeah.
And it goes off quite a bit. It's a very high traffic area, and there's been a couple of times where I heard some loud voices outside of my apartment because we live in a big house that's turned into apartments. So I pull up my Ring camera, and that's all I hear is my neighbors talking bad about me and saying rotten stuff, saying I'm a weirdo because I don't come outside, and saying that I'm ruining my fiance's life and just saying all kinds of nasty stuff. And it's like they don't understand autism.
Yeah. Look, I have a lot of thoughts for you, Kyle, but I appreciate you being up here and being vulnerable. That's not an easy thing to do, to come up and share this and talk about this, and thank you. Just know that a few thoughts. The first thing is, it is very common with autism to have the perception that everybody is thinking about you, looking at you, and talking about you, and thinking and seeing the autism things that you see about yourself, when that's not always the reality. People do care about you, Kyle. You have value. Your partner is with you because she sees that value, Kyle. And so you are so much more than just an autism diagnosis. I hope you know that. The second thing is do you, first, I have so much I want to say. You need a village. You need a group of people that care about you. And there's no kinder and better people than autism parents. And we get a lot of autism parents that come onto these lives and join our Facebook group and Discord chat. Please immerse yourself here. Talk about the hard days. Be open, be vulnerable, and let us talk through things with you. We're always here for you. And then I also just want to say that as a person with autism, you have rights under ADA. These are rights that can protect your housing. It's rights that can protect your job. Do you feel like you know a lot about your rights having autism? Or do you want me to go into some of those?
I do know about them, and um, some of those rights are kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. They're almost contradictory to some of the work that I've done.
Yeah.
And like and like I said, I when I'm in a conflict or everything gets hectic, I crash out. Like something just happens. I like all it. Like I'll give you an example. Like my
Yeah.
first job, I was working at McDonald's,
Yeah.
and all I heard was beep, beep, slam, bang, everything. And like it was so much and so overwhelming that I couldn't focus on my work. And it got to the point to where like I was getting angry and frustrated because everyone's yelling at me, and like I'm not able to process nothing. And then I wind up getting upset and freaking out and telling everybody off, and to the point to where like they deem me as like being extremely aggressive and don't have any place for me in the workplace.
Yeah.
So, and it's not that I put my hands on no one. I'm very outspoken. I would never hurt anyone or hit anyone or anything. I get extremely overstimulated.
Yeah. That seems like a terrible environment for someone with autism to be in. Let me tell you though that like one recommendation I have for you as you're looking for a job, do not tell people that you have autism during the job interview. Okay. During the hiring process, you do not tell them that. Okay. Do you understand, Kyle? They're not allowed to discriminate against you because you have autism. And so you don't need to tell them. You're not lying to them, but you don't tell them because what people do is they will discriminate against you. They're not allowed to, but they will. And so do not tell them that you have autism in the job interview. However, once you have a job, that is the point that I want you to go and talk to human resources about autism. The moment you get the job, you work your first day, you go and you ask, hey, I need to talk to human resources about accommodations. And the moment you mention reasonable accommodations and autism when you're hired, they have a legal obligation to create an environment within reason that will help you be successful. And so part of that could be if you're at McDonald's and you tell them you have autism, you can say, one accommodation that I need is I need a 15-minute break every hour. And it's not going to be paid, and I understand that, but I need to go and have 15 minutes to myself outside where I can put headphones in for 15 minutes and calm down. And not have the sensory overload. I'm not saying exactly that, but you can be thinking of what would make you successful at the job, and request for reasonable accommodations to do that. Have you ever tried anything like that?
Yeah, I have in the past, and there's been a couple of jobs that I was able to hold for a few months, but I've never had a job longer than 4 or 5 months.
Wow.
And some of that was not. So there was a couple of jobs that was more circumstantial just because of my life at the time. bouncing around from place to place, not being able to find housing. There was 3 different I'm 40, and there's been 3 times where I was homeless, and 2 of them
Wow.
were in the middle of winter. And but now I'm in a situation where like I can't work anyways. I don't have transportation. My fiance works 12-hour days and has an hour drive there, an hour drive back.
Do you have kids?
And there's nothing close to me. Between the two of us, we have 5 kids, but they don't live with us.
Oh, okay. Got it.
She also has autism, but she is not doesn't have the issues that I have.
Yeah.
She's high functioning as well.
Yeah. Wonderful. Lexi, hello. I brought up another friend, Kyle. Lexi's a good friend of mine. How are you doing, Lexi?
Hi, I'm doing good. I'm listening to what Kyle is saying. And Kyle, I just want to tell you, I know that you haven't had really great people in your life, and I'm so sorry that you had to go through all of that. I don't think anybody who has any condition at all should ever be alone. We do have a wonderful village, and I know that a lot of us moms just want to reach over the phone and give you the biggest hug and just tell you you're not alone and we're here for you. I really hope that you join one of our communities, whether it be Discord, or you can message me directly. You can add me. I'd be more than happy to talk to you anytime. Anytime you feel overwhelmed or anything like that, I'd be more than happy to be there for you. I really just wanted to give you our support here and know that you are loved, you are important, and you are a wonderful human being. With everything you got going on, this world is not easy for you to navigate, and you shouldn't have to do it alone. So I really hope that you know that there are people out there, and it may be just us out here on the internet, but there are people out here that really do love and care
I really appreciate that, and that
um,
means a lot
for
to
our
me. And
autism community.
I do Discord, and one of the things that I do to try to help me therapeutically, since I'm stuck at home all the time, is I do run like a gaming Discord, and I have a few friends that play some random games and stuff, and that kind of helps pass the time. But I really appreciate that, and I would absolutely love to be a part of that.
Yeah, the link's in my bio, man. We're here for you. Come back, keep us posted. You got this. You got this. You're having a bad time. Things are hard, but just remember that life comes in seasons, Kyle. That there's going to be seasons where things are really hard, but there's also going to be seasons where things are really beautiful. And look forward to those seasons. Are you getting mental health therapy right now? Do you have a therapist?
Yeah, I have a therapist, and I
Okay.
also have a psych, and I just started
Good.
recently taking meds, which has been a whole nother
Oh, yeah.
story in itself. It's been trial and error, and one of the recent disputes that I had was they had started me on a new medication, and they had me on 70 milligrams of Vyvanse, and I'm on a few other meds, and I had never taken anything like that, and I crashed really, really hard,
Yeah.
and I don't know what happened, but I had a horrible anxiety, and like it caused me. I was overstimulated, and it caused me to have a big fight with the neighbors recently, and that's kind of why we're
Yeah.
going through what we're going through now.
Gosh, that's
And
so
it's
hard.
I really am genuinely trying to better myself, and I've been battling this for 40 years, and I have gotten nowhere. I have nothing. I literally have a PlayStation 5, and I own a couple Funko Pops. I mean, this has been my life. I can't hold on to nothing, bouncing around from place to place. I can't establish relationships, and anytime I do make friends, I can't ever maintain them because of the issues that I have. And when I crash out, it completely destroys
It
any
harms
sort of camaraderie or
relationships.
nothing. No one wants to be around that when no one wants to sit there and listen to someone screaming and yelling, and they think that I'm yelling and cussing at them,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I'm just yelling. I'm overstimulated. I'm upset.
Yeah. Kyle, I appreciate you being open with us. I'm going to go ahead and read some things here from YouTube. While I do that, Kyle, be thinking of any final statements or things you want to say, especially knowing there's a lot of parents on here that have kids with autism. If you have anything you want to say to them. But let me read some comments on YouTube. I do say I try to get to all of those. So Arcane says, I'm not sure if you got to my question yet, but I've been looking for barbers who cut special needs hair. He's 4. Everyone has turned me down. You guys, that is a tough one. We had to cut our kid's hair when he was asleep. He fell asleep one time in my arms, and we're like, okay, we're cutting his hair while he's sleeping right here. But yeah, keep calling around, keep looking. There are barbers out there that are very understanding, very accommodating. You can also address cutting hair in therapy. ABA therapy, we target that all the time of, one day we just kind of, you ease into it. You do some systematic desensitization with some of the aversive nature that comes with cutting hair. Let's see. We have some other comments over here. I think people are talking about, let's see, about you. They say, I feel you, brother. You're not alone. Just want to give him a hug, man. Just sounds like he's in a crappy place. Sarah over on YouTube says, Lexi is such a sweetheart. You guys, thank you for being over there on the YouTube. And Kyle, before I drop you down, do you have any advice or words of wisdom or things you want to say to parents of kids with autism that may be listening in right now?
I do. And I'm going to try to say this as unemotional as possible. Don't give up on your kids. My family couldn't handle me. They didn't know, they couldn't deal with me, and I wound up in a boys' home, from ages 10 all the way to 18 years old. Don't give up on your kids, and I never got the proper help that I needed, and so now I'm dealing with it in my 40s, and just never was able to make any progress. So my best advice, don't give up on your kids, be strong and do your best, and it can be really angry and really frustrating dealing with things, and a little understanding goes a long ways. Please, please, please do not ever give up on your kids.
Kyle, I hope you know that you've had an impact here today. I hope you know that you have touched people here. You have impacted our lives for the better with some of these words. So thank you, Kyle, for being here. Welcome into this wonderful community. We're glad you're around. You have a good one, okay, Kyle?
Thank you. I appreciate you, brother.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right, you guys. Thank you guys for sticking around. This is a good, safe place. No judgment. Whether you have autism, you have a child with autism. Autism doesn't end out of childhood, you guys. There's not a cure for autism. That doesn't exist. That's not a thing. There's not you don't reverse autism. You support people with autism. And I just wish the world was more accommodating and understanding to the autism world. And that's how I'm feeling right now. All right, you guys, go ahead, put some questions in the chat, you guys. What questions do you have right now? I'm curious. I don't know. Let me see this. I'm curious who is here. Do we have, put 1 in the chat if you are a parent of a child with autism, 2 in the chat if you have autism. 1 or 2, 3 if neither of those apply. Maybe you're a professional or you're just here to learn. 1, 2, or 3. All right, we got a lot of 1s, we got a lot of 2s, we have a lot of 3s. Thank you guys for being here. This is a good place to be. Thank you for being part of this community. We're going to go ahead and keep inviting people up. As I do that, please be sharing this out. A little bit about what we do here is I go live every day. This is a safe place. I had been going live in the evenings. I have made the decision that I am going to try to stick to my morning schedule a lot better. That's every day at noon Eastern time. For an hour and a half to 2 hours, we go live. And I probably won't be doing as much of the night stuff. I may hop on other people's lives though. So if you guys are going live, or if you see a live that it would be good for me to join, I would hop on other people's, but I'm not going to be hosting my own lives at night. But I am every day at noon Eastern time. You can also, if you miss those, you can go back to the YouTube and watch them later on. But we're gonna stick to that. Now Sundays tomorrow are the exception. I don't get live until about 3 p.m. Eastern time usually. So Sundays are the only different day. All the other days it's 10 a.m. That we go live. So after golf, I wish. No, it's church that we got to go to in the morning, and then I got to get kids fed lunch, and then after lunch I go on during quiet time. So that's what we do. I wish it was after golf. That would be good. All right, you guys, let's bring some more
If
people.
Kyle is
Yeah, go
still
ahead, Lexi.
here, Kylan, I would also suggest looking into seeing if there's like jobs in his area that specifically employ people who have disabilities. I know in my area, oh, I see he's still in here. Kyle, in my area, I know that there's a specific company that only hires people with special needs. Look into that in your area.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Lexi. I agree. Raw Image says grocery stores. Yeah, that can be a great place. Even something small, and you know this, Kyle. You've been doing lots of jobs, and you've seen what works. And just remember, don't mention autism in the interview, but absolutely discuss accommodations as soon as you're hired. And that's not to give you special treatment. It's to level the playing field and make sure that you can be successful. Anyone can understand that, like, yeah, it's unfair for you to be in a job when that is loud, when you have sensory issues, and a job should help accommodate that a little bit. All right, we got some comments over on YouTube as well. Let's see. Desiree says, my boy is 6 and ASD level 2. Desiree, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Sarah says, my son and I are both diagnosed with autism. It's a beautiful thing when it's a parent and a child. I love that. Caitlin over on YouTube says, how do you deal with the dentist? We haven't took our son in over a year because it's a struggle just to brush his teeth. His teeth are in no way in bad shape because I make sure the job gets done. You guys, what do you do for the dentist? What do you do? Go ahead and put it in the chat. Let me tell you a little bit about what we just did. My son had a recent behavior change. He did not ever put things in his mouth, and up until about 2 weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks now, he has started mouthing his clothes. Not toys, not plastic objects, nothing like that, just his clothes, his sleeves and his collar. And it gets drenched. And so we were worried maybe he's maybe he has a toothache. And so we took him to the dentist, and I hated it. It was terrible. But since he can't tell me where it hurts or what's wrong, I had to physically hold him while they got into his mouth and took pictures. And I hated it. It was miserable, but I don't regret doing that because it let us rule out medical issues. I would not be able to forgive myself if a year went by and my child was had tooth pain that entire year. And so please be looking for those signs of pain, of discomfort, and try to rule those out before you jump to get him a chew necklace. The other thing is a chew necklace isn't going to help my child either. We're still in the process of finding something that matches the texture of clothes or meeting that need in another way. And so, good question there. We have recently went to an electric toothbrush, and it has helped a lot because he doesn't like the vibration when he bites down. Oh, Caitlin, that is interesting. That is good. Okay, let's see. If autism is genetic, then why do children meet their milestones in the first 2 years? Muhammad, that is a great question. So we do know that autism is largely genetic. It is 80 to 90% genetic. We know this. The studies have been pretty clear. It appears to be about 10 to 20% environmental factors. Now, every single environmental factor that I have identified in the research takes place during either pregnancy or during labor, during delivery. And so I know of no correlated risk factor to autism after a baby has been born. So no, it is not vaccinations. That has been researched pretty extensively. It is simply the way the brain developed in utero. But your question is then how can you be meeting milestones? This happens to some kids. You meet milestones and then you start seeing the regression. That happened to my daughter. She started regressing at around age 1. And it's because development isn't linear. The way the brain develops, the body develops is not linear. It doesn't always go in a straight line. There's ups and downs. And that's just a common trend that we see. But those who regress, that doesn't mean that they suddenly caught autism or that they were injured. Autism is not a brain injury. Then it can't be genetic. What do you mean, Muhammad? We know it's genetic. Let me break it down for you how we know. Muhammad, if you have identical twins, do you know how much DNA identical twins share, Muhammad?
I'm curious if you know this. How much DNA do identical twins share? If you don't know, that's okay. I'll tell you. They share 100% DNA. Identical twins do. And so their genes are identical. If one has autism, the other twin almost always also has autism, up to 90% of the time. Now, what about fraternal twins who share 50% DNA like any other sibling? Well, that statistic plummets. No longer is it 90% of the time they don't share identical DNA, even though the environmental factors are all the same. Autism is only about 20 to 30% co-occurring in fraternal twins. Now, you probably missed all that I just explained, and you're still going to say that it was vaccines or something else. But if you listen to what I said, this is a very clear example of how genetics can be shown to be behind autism. All right, you guys, we have some other comments over here on YouTube. Desiree says, my son started chewing his shirt too. His OT suggested we use a bandana around his neck to get a similar feel, but it can be switched out when it gets wet. We have had pretty good success with that. Desiree, I love that. I love that idea. You guys, this is why I go live. I get amazing ideas. Oh, guys, OTs are amazing, by the way. If you don't have an OT and you've had issues like this, OTs are great at replacing sensory needs. Like, that is a really good strength of OTs. Like, a lot of people, a lot of parents, they just hear, oh, like something in the mouth. Oh, there's something else you could put in the mouth. And they don't look at the deeper sensory issues behind it. A bandana, though, matches a clothing sensory perfectly. And so that is beautiful. That is amazing. Thank you for sharing that, Desiree. I love the idea. I love the advice. All right, you guys. Let's bring up some more guests, some more friends. Let's see if we have some questions in here. Let's see. We'll see if they can load in. I just accepted you. Let's see. It's not loading you up. I just accepted you, but it didn't work, I guess. I just sent you an invite since it didn't work. Kitchen. Let's see if that works this time. It's not wanting to load you in for some reason. Oh, there we go. There you are. How are you? Where are you from?
I'm good, and yourself?
Well, I'm pretty good. Where are you from? Where are you at?
I'm from South Africa.
South Africa. Well, welcome in. Thank you for being here. What question do you have for us today?
But before I just shoot with my question, I just want to tell Kyle that he is loved. You know, we love him.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
So,
Kyle, there's people here that love you. I hope you know.
so my son is 5 years old, autistic and nonverbal.
Yeah.
There's a bit of issues that I have, like when we go to the shops, he likes grabbing the candies, or even when we go to the restaurants, he goes and grab the other customers' food and whatsoever. And if he doesn't get what he wants, he always bites me. So one
Oh
of
my
the
gosh.
therapists said that he normally feels comfortable with me. That's why he bites me, he fights me. He doesn't do that to his brother, he doesn't do that to his father or sisters. So how do I get him not to grab things from the store or like from people's plates?
Yeah. Yeah. That is wow. Thank you. Thank you for coming up. Thank you for asking about this. Does he have an autism diagnosis yet?
We were supposed to go back to Dr. Erasmus, but we never went back because of the finances.
Yeah.
But he goes to a normal school, preschool, and then we just take him to OT and speech where we pay like 300 Rand every Tuesday, like weekly, which is affordable. But going back to the pediatrician, it's costing a lot.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. How well does he communicate? Does he have words that he says?
No, he
No
doesn't. He
words.
still does baby talks. I do try to speak to him in full sentences. He does say mama, but other things he doesn't speak. He doesn't say anything. He just pulls my hand when he wants something. That's when he communicates.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when he's grabbing stuff, is it because he wants it? Like he's at the store, he sees something he wants to eat? Is that
Yes,
what's happening?
yes.
Is it usually food that he
Especially when it
grabs? That's
comes
what
to,
he's usually grabbing. It's food.
especially candy. Other
Oh,
things he doesn't
yes.
get toys. He doesn't. He just always grab candy.
He tries to
And
grab the
then when we
candy. Yeah.
yes, and then his food is very plain. He only eats dry rice or toasted bread. So when he sees someone eating like toasted bread, like when we go for breakfast, he wants to go grab that person's. It's like he doesn't have patience and wait for his food to come.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me. Okay. I'm curious too. Just so you feel not alone. I'm curious in the chat if your child has uh, struggle eating a wide variety of food. Put yes in the chat. If your child will eat just about anything, put anything in the chat. So yeah, put yes or anything. Yes if they're restricted in what they eat, or anything if they'll eat anything. Just note, like, this is so common. The feeding, the like restricted eating, only wanting plain foods is very common. Not wanting foods to touch. Guys, oh my gosh, how did I not celebrate this, you guys? I have a huge win. Yesterday, we put vegetables on my kid's plate, which he never has touched. He eats like packets of veggies, but broccoli, carrots, things like that, he doesn't touch. But we keep putting them on his plate. And yesterday, I looked over. He was eating the broccoli and carrots. He ate the broccoli and carrots off of his plate. I don't know what got into him, but he did. It was amazing. But look, I have some thoughts for you, guest. And your display name is, it looks like, are those hugs?
Yeah, my name is Jessica.
Jessica.
My name
Okay,
is
Jessica. Let me give you some thoughts, Jessica. If you were in the United States, I would tell you to get ABA therapy, and that they can do a functional assessment and help write a plan for when you're in the grocery store or around food. But since you don't have one, let me tell you what I would typically do if that was my child and I didn't have access to ABA. I'm a board certified behavior analyst, so I went to school for this. I have a master's degree in autism studies. And I run a company that supports people with autism. But what I would do for my child, if that was the case, the first thing is every time that we are going to be in a situation where he's going to want to grab things, I'm going to address his motivation for wanting those things by making sure he is very full before we go. So I would time shopping to be right after breakfast or right after lunch. Make sure he eats amazing food, good food that he likes. Number two, I would bring some of his favorite food items with you to where he can be eating those instead of grabbing the other candies. Number three, I would reinforce an alternative behavior that is incompatible with grabbing food. So what that would be is when we're at the store, I would something that I might do is have him always keep his hand on the cart and bring, maybe the first few days you have some treats, some M&Ms or something, and every 30 seconds that he has his hand on the cart, you give him reinforcement. You could praise him, you could have a treat, a candy, something like that. And so the replacement behavior is he's holding onto the cart. This is easier said than done, but that's what I would do. The last thing is just know that that as your child increases in communication, the need to just grab and do things like that is going to go down. And so one of the best things to do is to keep working on communication. You said you have a speech therapist, right?
Yes, he does see a speech therapist every Tuesday.
Good, wonderful. As communication increases, you're going to see problems go down. And you absolutely will. In the meantime, like I also, my kid has similar problems. And you know what the answer is for me? We don't go into grocery stores. I don't take him to grocery stores with me. We pick up the groceries. We do the pickup stuff and go and pick up the groceries after we order it online. I'm sure you guys have that in South Africa, right? That you can order the food and then go and pick it up.
Yeah, we do, but I try to do things out of his comfort zone.
That makes you a really good parent. That is good. I do like that. But
last we went for strawberry picking. I took him for a train ride. Like, as long as I have his headsets on, I try to introduce him other things or do things by himself, because of my fear is like, one day if I'm not there, who's gonna assist him? Because of he's more closer to me, and I'm more like enforcing him to do things by himself. You
Yeah.
understand? Because if I don't have much family, because my worry is one day when I leave this earth, how is he going to be able to make food for himself? How is he going to be able to do something for himself? So I
Yeah.
try my best every day to teach him to do something for himself, and also go out there, not being afraid. But now my worry is he's nonverbal. If he should get lost, what is he going to say? Where is he from? Who's his mother? So that's why I
Yeah.
make sure that wherever he goes, yeah.
My thought is like, we absolutely need to work on all of the things with them. That doesn't mean we need to work on everything at the same time. So it's okay to not try to teach him everything all at once. And it's also okay
'cause it was overwhelming.
to focus on the very minimum or the lowest things to work on right now. Oh my gosh, thank you for the hand heart, Michelle. That was so kind. I will say that that by you coming up and asking this, I can tell that you are doing everything you can for your child. I'm gonna link something new in my bio. I'm gonna do this because I just found a resource, you guys, that for a lot of people who don't have access to ABA, they feel like they just cannot get that therapy. But there is a free resource that I discovered this week that is a brand new free training. That is a 40-hour training that behavior technicians who do ABA get. And this isn't one of those low quality. There used to be a free one that was full of ads and it was low quality. No, this is extremely high quality training, best of the best of training that ABA therapists get. And so you as a parent can go through that for free and learn what technicians learn of how to work with your child. And so if you're in a location which is just about anywhere other than the United States where ABA is limited, you are able to go and get some of that education yourself. So Jessica, let me add that to my bio, and let's see. Let me find it fast, then I'll add it to the bio. Lexi, do you have any other thoughts while I'm doing that? You can kind of keep things running for me for a minute, or if you're busy, Lexi, that's cool too. I just am gonna try to add this to my bio fast.
Hi. Sorry about that.
Hi, Lexi.
Hi, we're all here to support you in anything that you need. If you do want to join we have a Facebook group and we have a Discord link as well. If you want to join any of those, we'd be more than happy to also help and support there even after this live ends.
Love that.
Can you please give me your Facebook handle?
Yeah, it's in my bio. It's in my bio.
Okay. All right.
Just check that out. And I'm also gonna let's see. Oh, I found it, you guys. Okay. It is soarautismcenter.com/free training. Someone has an echo. Who has an echo? I think that might be Jessica, or is it Destiny with an echo? Oh no, it's Destiny. You got the echo, I think.
I've been muted.
Oh, maybe it's not you. Maybe it's Lexi.
Maybe it's because it's raining. It's raining outside.
Oh, okay. Okay, guys, I am putting a really cool resource in my bio. Hold on a second. It's almost there. Okay, it is now officially in my bio. It is called Free RBT Training. It's down near the bottom of my bio. You guys check it out. If you want to learn about ABA, if you're worried that you don't know what you're doing, you don't have access to ABA, and you and the parent want to take some of this on and learn, go through that training. Go learn all that you can. This is the same kind of training that registered behavior technicians get. So go ahead and check that out. But Jessica, thank you for coming up. Destiny, did you have thoughts for Jessica, or were you wanting to come up for something else?
Nope, something separate.
Awesome. Jessica, you
Hey,
have a
can I
great
just
rest of
say
your day,
something
okay?
before I leave? Can I just say something before I leave?
Please do.
To the parents who have issues when it comes to their kids brushing their teeth, normally what I do, I don't know if it works for me. Normally, like I use the mirror, I would brush my teeth and then I'll allow him to look at himself. At first, it was a struggle, but then I showed him while he could see himself, and then he started brushing his teeth. And then when he came to the dentist last year, when I took him to the dentist, before taking him to the dentist, I would like tap on his teeth and I like open for mama, and it's something that took me 2 weeks, but I was really patient. And then when we got to the dentist and we did that, he knew already that he must open his teeth. So sometimes I feel like parents need to be patient and just like not enforce, but like do a routine with your child. If you know that you're going to go somewhere, do a routine with your child when you know that when you get there, then he knows, okay, this is what I have to do.
I love that. Yes, you can prepare for things. You can practice. You can do trials.
Yes.
You can go over and over and teach them something. Jessica, thank you so much for sharing that. That means a lot. You have a great rest of your day, Jessica. Thank you for coming up and talking. Best to you and your little one. Thank you so much. Oh, Destiny, what else do you got for us today, Destiny?
Kylan, my heart is racing. I feel like I'm going to throw up. I am so angry right now.
Oh no, what happened?
If I exit the screen, will you still be able to hear me?
No. Yeah, I can't hear you right now. It mutes you and
okay. So, backstory. Earlier in the week, my in-laws agreed to watch the kids, and I was like, you know what? I'll give them a chance.
Oh no.
I told you about what happened the first time.
Oh no. You did, but you didn't tell everyone that's on here.
Yeah, it just know it wasn't good, okay? And I was like, you know what? I'll give them a second chance. So I messaged them today. I said, Eli and I want to go to Oak Tavern, which is not far from here. Can y'all be at the house at whatever, whenever? And to which they responded, we babysit at our house. Drop them off and go.
Oh.
No.
Oh my goodness.
I'm laughing, but I'm really angry.
Okay, they say it's our house or nowhere, huh? That's what grandparents are saying, huh?
And had they said something along the lines of, oh, our cars broke down, we can't, y'all can drop them off here, I might have considered it. But the fact that for the last hour you've been so persistent that I bring my children to your house where they can't be monitored is a major red flag. First of all. Second of all, your house has zero safety. Zero. There are no door alarms. There are no locks on the cabinets. Y'all have a pool that's not properly locked. Literally zero safety measures. And I have 2 children. So your eyes may be taken off of Hudson for 5 seconds. 5 seconds. No.
It just seems like such a odd boundary that they're trying to put up. Like,
yeah,
I'm trying to see it from their point of view. Like, why are they putting up that boundary?
Because they want complete control. Like, and I told you what he said at my house a few weeks ago. My house, my rules.
Yeah.
No, my kid, my rules. We're not doing that. And aside from all of that, I have to sit in on Hudson's therapy sessions because the one time that I did not, he ended up in the sensory room with a weighted jacket and he threw up all over his therapist because he was so dysregulated from being in an unfamiliar place. I'm not dropping my kid off with you. You have absolutely no knowledge of him, his disability. No. And why are you so adamant about it?
It's weird. I at least with my kids, the 2 that have autism, it is extremely difficult to support them outside of their comfort area.
Yes.
Like it is way easier for anybody to come and watch them here at our house than it is anywhere else because I mean they don't feel comfortable or safe there.
Right. And it's convenient because Hudson's weighted vest is here, his vibration plate is here, his swing is here. This is his home. If Brody gets fussy, his crib is here. They have nothing. They're equipped in no way. And I asked him, I said, so let's say I drop Hudson off at your house and immediately he starts screaming, he starts shaking, and then he throws up on you. What do? How do you calm him down? You know nothing. Why are you so adamant about keeping them in a space that I can't monitor them?
Yeah.
He said, so you never let him out of your sight? No, I don't. No.
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't let him out of my sight. He's like, what about Sunday school? I said, there are cameras in there. I can monitor them. If you want to put cameras up in your house, I might consider it.
Yeah.
He's like, that's absurd. No, you're absurd.
Well, I mean, what are they going to do? So now they're just.
I told him I would rather stay home and create a date night here after the kids go to bed than drop my children off at your house.
Yeah.
And then he says, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. We're really just trying to be good servants. Oh my God.
Oh, that's a lot.
I can't. I'm laughing, but I do this when I'm angry. Like, before I explode. Brooklyn says my biggest flex is my kids' grandparents aren't psychos. Brooklyn, it must be nice. And I told them, I said, I am completely fine with my kids not knowing you. I was doing this for my husband. I was willing to meet you halfway, but I'm completely fine with them growing up and having no idea who you are. And when Hudson asks you why you weren't around, you can tell him, because I didn't feel comfortable watching you in your own safe space. Well, you tell a kid that.
So last time they didn't know there were cameras. Is that what it was? And then you like said, hey, like I saw this. And do you think now they're like, we don't want to watch them where there's cameras? Is that like what this is?
For sure. For sure. Because they had no problem coming to our house that one time. And then one of you left my kid to watch someone else's kid. And then the other one let him stim in front of a TV for 4 hours and ignored him when he asked you to read him a book. So no, I won't be leaving him with you where he cannot be monitored. He's like, just drop him off for 30 minutes. No. Like, do I need to say it in Spanish? No. I don't get why you would rather not have a connection with your grandkids than watch them in a place that they're safe and monitored.
Yeah, that blows my mind. They didn't like being, I don't know, having their parenting, their supervision questioned, and now they're trying to.
Lexi said, "I'll teach you how to say it in Spanish."
I think she did just fine.
We've been doing this solo for 3 years, and I was excited for them to come here and watch the boys so that we can get out. Like, we haven't in 3 years. We have not been on one date in 3 years, and so that sucks. But at the same time, if we were to drop them off at their house and go somewhere, I wouldn't enjoy myself anyways. So it's.
And so if you explain it in a way of like, look, our home is safest for them. Like, they're just not going to take that.
I did. I absolutely did. I said, your house has no safety measures. It's unfamiliar for him. He still has a hard time regulating in therapy, and he's been going there for the last 3 months. He's been to your house twice with me there.
Oh, Eric has a question for you, Destiny. What do you think of Eric's question for you?
Does Destiny think that perhaps the stress of her life might be impeding her judgment? No. No. No.
I'm curious your thoughts on that, Eric. What are you trying to say there? What are you trying to say? Look, guys, I feel like...
Eric, you're telling me... I have a question for you, Eric. One, are you an autism parent? And if not, then feel free to... Never mind. If you're not... If you are an autism parent, you would feel safe leaving your autistic child, severely autistic child, in a place that has absolutely zero safety measures with people who are completely unfamiliar with autism, in a place that he's never been without you, where they can't be monitored. That's okay for you?
Yeah, she already has a history here of seeing some, I don't want to say neglect, but it was not the best supervision of her child when they were watching at her own house, and she's trying to give them another chance and trying to get them involved. And I think it's totally fine for us parents to make sure we do things in the way that make us feel comfortable. And
it's not just about my comfort; it's about his.
Yeah.
Like, aside from me not being able to keep an eye on them, I know that he has a hard time regulating in unfamiliar places. And I know that if he has a meltdown here at the house, they can put him on the vibration plate. They can put him in the swing. They can put him in his vest. They can, there are measures that they can take here at the house that they can't at their own.
Yeah.
And it's far less likely. There are people, like, we've had a couple people from church come and watch them for a minute while we ran, like, to Brody's doctor's appointment or whatever. And he's been fine. He's fine here. But elsewhere, that may not be the case.
Yeah. I tell you what, I am so excited for the next couple of years when my son, I posted a video of him yesterday or the day before my 10-year-old son, and I trust him so much with our autistic son. Like, not a lot of people know how to work with our little boy, but man, his big brother, he's pretty good with him. And I think in a couple years, maybe when he's 13, 14, I'd feel safe with him watching him. So I don't know.
I'll have to send the screenshots in the group chat for y'all to
Yes, please
indulge
do.
in.
Please do. I want to keep watching that. All right, you guys. We have hit our 2 hours here. Let me tell you all a little bit about, oh my gosh, what was that? A party pony? Mama of 2. Oh my gosh, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Thank you. Guys, let me tell you a little bit about what this live is if you're new here. We go live every day. This is a safe place for autism parents. We try to be positive most of the time. We support each other. We care about each other. If you have autism or if you're an autism parent, this is the place for you. And we learn together, we laugh together, we cry together. And I am a board certified behavior analyst, but really here as a autism advocate and an autism dad. I have 2 kids with autism. So be sure to hit me a follow. I'm going to be doing, and you can do that right there without even leaving the screen. But I will say that I am going to stick to my schedule a little bit better than I've been doing. I'm making this 10 a.m. Utah time, which is noon Eastern time, kind of my default time that I'm going live. And I may do other lives, but that's going to be me hopping on other people's lives. But this account is only going to be going live at about noon Eastern time every single day, other than Sundays. Sundays I go a little bit later, usually around 3 p.m. Eastern time. But the schedule is going to be about the same. Noon Eastern time is when you can expect to see me go live. So please be up here. Thank you for being here. And Destiny, any last thoughts or things you want to share before we end for today?
No, I don't want to get you banned. I'll keep my mouth shut.
All right. Are you, we need to do another conspiracy live, but you got to host it on yours this time. I'm not going to do it on mine.
That's fine. I can do that. I'm done. We need to come up with some that we haven't touched on. Also, you brought it up. This is your fault, even though you're past your time. Erica Kirk was found in the Epstein files. So do with that information what you may.
Is that new info?
It is. I'll send it to you.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Right. Guys, we had a live the other night that was a conspiracy theory live that was just like, sometimes we're all stressed out. We got to take a breath, have some fun. I don't believe in just about any conspiracy theory. So I come up as kind of the voice of reason, I thought, but then I held a vote and nobody ever agreed with my takes. I don't understand. Y'all are wanting to believe all these conspiracies. So we'll maybe Destiny can host those. Make sure you're following Destiny. Make sure you're following Lexi. Thank you guys for and Bad. I see you in the comments there. Always helping out with the moderating. Thank you guys for always.
Yes, surprised but not surprised. Not surprised in the slightest.
Not surprised at what?
That Erica Kirk was in the Epstein file. She worked for Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes. Was that Jessica? Thank you for the hand hearts. That means a lot. That means a lot to me. Guys, I appreciate all the moderators. If you want to keep this discussion going, we do have our Facebook group. We have our Discord chat where we like to keep the conversation after the lives. And thank you guys. We will be back here tomorrow, probably around 3 p.m. Eastern time. So thank you guys. Have a good one, everybody.